This is Worth Kick Legend. Today we're going to show you how to integrate some Filipino strikes into your pad work. So I'm here with Kurt at MKG Detroit once again, and Kurt being an FMA enthusiast and specialist, we're going to show you how to utilize some of this in your pad work. Sometimes I don't feel like hitting with my hands. They're either sore from a hard day before or whatever reason. It's sometimes good to have other hitting options even if you're a pure kickboxer. It allows you to continue training without aggravating an injury. And one way to do that is to hit with the forearms and the open palms. So we're going to show you the application of a particular combo and then how to hit it on the mitts.
Okay, so if we're examining hitting with the forearm, so we've got palms or punching, but we're going to say, okay, let's transition to the arm. So first things first is we have to be a little bit closer than maybe your traditional boxing or punching range, because you now, instead of hitting with this part, you're hitting somewhere in here. So we've got to be a little closer. So the first concept here is off of the jab. So if we're thinking of the jab, just a straight lead hand shot, and instead of using the front or the side of the fist, we're going to use the forearm, so we push through this way. So the forearm is making impact. If his hands are up, we're going to clear the line. If his hands are dropped from the impact, all the better. The rear elbow comes up behind it. So again, straight in and rear elbow. Left straight, rear elbow. From this position, we've got a bunch of options. The one we're looking at today is to now use this forearm to redirect him the other way, right? So it's 1 and 2 and 3, like that. Now, he's slightly offline, off center. So he's, in his mindset, he's going towards my low line. He's going to take my base out from under me. Any number of options here. We've redirected his head. So either he's disoriented or he's got a game plan. We're going to interrupt his thought here and just hit over the top. So left comes in, right elbow sneaks up behind it. Hit that with the right side and step through. It gives you more momentum. We've switched leads now. So this comes right over the top. Okay, so if he's trying to take my base or if he's stuck, this just got stuck here, right? I'm just going to shoot the right through again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
What I like about this is it allows a pure kickboxer to use tools that are very familiar to them, but in a more Filipino or self-defense oriented way. Because out on the street, we never punch people with our bare hands. There's some validity to that. But rather than teach you a whole bunch of angles and motions that you're not familiar with, which I do, it allows you to use the exact same kind of body mechanics that you're used to, but just changing the point of impact. So that jab, rather than hitting straight, I just changed the energy to be diagonal into him. That feels like a neck kick when it's hit properly. Great. If you do Muay Thai or any kind of art like that, you're used to the elbow. If you're maybe more of a pure boxer, you might want to turn this into a haymaker, but again, just hit with the forearm instead. And then from here, this back fist is maybe the only thing that feels a little bit new, but you can just turn that into a shove, which again is pretty easy to understand. This left looping overhand just feels like an overhand left, right? From here, you're just hitting that shot, which you should know how to do already. And then finally, from here, this shot is just like your right cross. So we're using the same punches you already know, but just changing the energy and the impact points, and it gives you a very self-defense friendly way to work, and also a way to hit to preserve your hands. You can use Thai pads or focus mitts, either one is good. The hold for safety, we're going to make it a little bit farther away than you might ideally want to hold. For the first punch, I'm going to brace it against my shoulder for impact. I can hold it here, but if he really drills it, I have no way to support it, right? Unless I'm hitting into his shot, which, as we all know, is terrible pad holding. So I'm going to brace it a little bit so that when that impact comes, I can just stand my ground. And then from here, I'm going to hold for the diagonal elbow. I can hold it at the exact same place. That way, if Kurt wants to work on his half-beat timing, he can hit the 1-2, and I don't have to really worry about making a fast transition. From there, I'm going to back up, or he backs me up with his energy, and I'm going to hold for that back fist You notice I'm leaning fairly far away because look at how close his hand ends up to me anyway. So I'm kind of leaning out of the line, keeping the pad where my head ideally would be. And then for that smash, again, I can even get farther offline, but keep the pad where my head ideally should be. And then for the last shot, I like to brace double on the chest so he can really smash through with that right cross. So from the beginning, and you see, man, that does not feel good. Even going kind of half speed, half power. So you may not want to put it dead center in your clavicle as I just did, because that wakes you up a little bit. But just holding both pads here, just throw the right.
Just this one?
Yeah. I mean, standing my ground is effort against that shot, so it's an extremely powerful punch. But holding it anywhere else just doesn't seem viable to me, both to accommodate training him and preserving and protecting myself. So this is a good compromise.
So where timing is concerned, you can just do these all as single beats, especially as you're getting used to the holding and the hitting. Eventually, when we examine the combination, if we go back and look at the way it was on the body, it's 1, 2, 3 to move him, 4 gets hung up, and 5. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that.
After the right elbow, he's kind of reacting to what I'm doing. Maybe I've engaged, so he's stepping through to push me over or win that battle for the lever. That's going to have to take an entire beat, right? He can't hit me on the half beat if he has to win the line. He can only hit me if that becomes a little shot to the face, like a back fist. But then, for the sake of this combo, that big forearm smash isn't going to make sense anymore. He's too close. He's going to have to change what he's doing. So if you're deciding this is the combo that works, that kind of dictates what our realistic timing options are. So I hope you enjoyed this combo. Try it out in class every now and again. I think you'll find it's pleasantly fun to hit. Again, pay attention to partner safety. If you haven't done this before, you can really end up either hitting the pad in your partner's face or worse, missing the pad altogether and putting a lot of forearm on your partner when you didn't mean to. This is Roy with Kurt here at MKG Detroit. Keep your chin down, elevate your strike. When you're first learning how to hit these forearm shots, if you have access to a heavy bag, I recommend trying that because you're going to feel how that energy works. That's the forearm punch.